Hello, today is Tuesday the 13th of October and I'm just making a short message to say that I believe the earth is flat. I made this amazing discovery in September and I've been researching the flat earth ever since. So wake up people, the earth is flat.
I'm confused now. Is the earth round or is it flat? I have been down some rabbit holes the last couple weeks that has blown my mind. And nowadays we don't know what's true and what's not. There's so much propaganda going on. There's so much fake news. Just they make up whatever they wanted to make up. So how do we know that this isn't part of their agenda? Is explaining this world to us in some kind of way that we buy into, like the planets and the moon and like the roundness of everything. I don't know. I've seen some pretty good arguments for the flat earthers. I'd love to know below some more information about this. Let me know what your thoughts are on if the earth is round or if it's flat. Let me know.
This is how Japan attacked Pearl Harbor according to flat earthers? Look at this right here, dude. 1 second. This is how Japan attacked Pearl Harbor according to flat earthers. I want y'all to look closely at this flat earth map. Huh, that's a straight shot. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Hold on 1 second. While we're talking about this argument, well, it's actually not an argument. Anyways, how about this laser these people are shooting across this lake, dude? A lot of these lasers are like going like 10 or 20 miles across. Explain that. Because according to the Earth Curve calculator, 10 miles would be 66.69 feet of curve, meaning how can the laser, if it's going straight, it's supposed to be like almost 70 feet of curve. How on earth is a laser hitting the target on the other side exactly 5 foot off the ground? Tell me. Just like the famous Chicago skyline shot, 60 miles, 60. As you can see at 50 miles, 1667, that's 1,600, that's almost 2,000 feet of curve. The tallest building's like 1,500, man, so we're seeing the little short buildings, so none of them should be visible. And don't start talking about light reflection and bending and curve and because we don't want to hear it.
Every single year on July 8th, 99% of the population is in daylight, which cannot happen on a globe. I made a video about it the other day, and I was actually wrong, so I'm here to correct myself. It's not only July 8th that this happens, it's actually 60 days, which destroys your globe. I demonstrated how it could work perfectly on a Gleason map with a small little flashlight. And I asked Globers to demonstrate for me how it could work on a globe, actual globe, with the actual light, and nobody could do it for me. You want to know why you guys can't do it for me? Because we don't live on a globe. The earth is flat, the globe is cooked, rip globe. I'd like to ask everyone to join me, and let's take a moment of silence for the cooked globe. Rest in pieces.
Yeah, you know this is just the beginning. Lights crumble down when the truth comes out. Lights crumble down when the truth comes out. Don't you pull the trigger.
Let's take you to church. In the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 6, it says, And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth. And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be for the lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. This is Chronicles chapter 16, verse 30. Fear before him all the earth, the world also shall be stable, that it not be moved. Now let's look at Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spread them out as a tent to dwell in. What ball is pulled out like a curtain and spread over like a tent? Be real. And it says circle, not sphere. This is how the firmament is described in the Bible. Now let's go to Job chapter 37, verse 18. Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong and as a molten looking glass? Now let's look at Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Then we'll go to Psalms 104, verse 5. Who laid the foundations of the earth, that it should not be removed forever? Now let's look at Psalms 93, verse 1. The Lord reigneth, he is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself. The world is also established, that it cannot be moved. Please do enlighten me where in this book it tells you that we're on a spinning ball going through space. Because all I'm reading is that the earth is set on its foundations and cannot be moved. The Bible does not support your ball theory. Now let's look at Corinthians 2, chapter 11, verse 3. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Christ. NASA's logo has a serpent's tongue running through it.
Why is this plane above Iceland? Why is this plane above Iceland from New York to Tashkent? And before anybody comes at me saying, oh, put the line on the globe, New York to Tashkent, still below Iceland. It is still flight pattern below Iceland on a globe. Straight line. It is so ridiculously easy to debunk the globe. Oh, that's why. Here's Iceland. There's New York. Oh, that's why. Completely straight flight on a flat earth map, guys. Boom, boom. Y'all, if you have not done research on Genesis 1:6 about the firmament, please do so. The firmament is Rakia H7549. It is the solid surface, expanse, firmament, flat as base support of the vault of heaven supporting the waters above. This is the waters that are above, Genesis 1:7. This is the firmament in Genesis 1:6. The sun and the moon and the stars are inside of the firmament.
So a lot of people have asked me, like, why does the shape of the earth even matter? Well, if it really boils down to it, the shape doesn't really affect your daily life. However, if someone is deliberately lying to you, then they're trying to control you and control your mind. So if someone is pushing these false ideologies on you, they're trying to control your perception of reality. If they can control your perception of reality, they can control the way that you think, the way that you act, the things that you do. So essentially, you become a slave. So this is why the shape matters. It's not about like, oh, like suddenly my life is better because I live on a flat earth. No. It's about the fact that they're deliberately lying to you and trying to control you. If you want to be truly free, you have to free your mind first. The idea of non-renewable resources and that everything is so scarce and the population is just booming and we have to lower the population. All of these agendas designed to control humanity and totally enslave us in every single facet of our lives are all based off of a globe model. That's why if you go on NASA's page, all the satellites are showing how hot the Earth is becoming and the greenhouse gases, we're all going to catch on fire. You see what I'm saying? It's all based off of a globe model. All of these promises of us going to space and Elon taking us to Mars, it's literally all based off of a globe model. So if you destroy the globe model, you destroy the globalists. You destroy the entire foundation from which this enslavement system is built upon. And that's why Flat Earth is so demonized.
Right here is the only evidence that you need to understand that the stars move and we are stationary. This is Polaris. All the stars do perfect circles around Polaris. The ones on the outside have to go faster than the ones on the inside. They do this 24/7, 365 days of the year, and it never, ever, ever changes. It's always like this. It's always like this, guys. You need to wake up. Just think, how is it possible for Polaris to never ever move if we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting the sun at 66.6 thousand miles per hour? 666, guys. Think about it. And the stars to do perfect circles non-stop and always observe the same constellations, even though we're supposedly hurtling through space at millions of kilometers per hour. It doesn't make sense. This is the truth to this reality. All of our ancestors told us this exact truth, and the truth to everything is found within. Peace and love.
Try and spot the difference. Floating globe, non-floating globe. Floating globe, non-floating globe. You see, it doesn't matter how high you go on this realm, it does always look flat. Don't let the pseudoscience gurus tell you that they've seen a curve, because no matter how high you actually go, you can't see a curve. You know, think about lighthouses. You know, how can a lighthouse save people at sea if it curved away? You know, I love it when people say, like, I've been higher than 37,000 feet and I've seen the curve. Where's the curve? Needless to say, the three musketeers that went to the moon in 1969 couldn't look any happier when they got back from that moon landing. You know, does this look like three people that has just done the biggest accomplishment in humanity? I think not.
I kind of wanted to talk to you guys tonight about speaking about the flat earth with, you know, people you care about, like your family, your loved ones, your wife, your children, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. But it's the same concept, you know, with anybody you love. It's very difficult to talk about these things because you're either going to be one of two, or you're either going to be in one of two situations. That's what I meant to say. Either you're going to be in a situation where you're rejected, and that's been really common for me so far since I've been talking to my family, but or you're either going to be accepted. And you know, it's the same way with YouTube, you know. It's not really that big of a deal. You know, people just, their egos are going to get in the way of their thought, you know, about the whole thing. And some people already have. We're going to talk about family and the flat earth right now. I started talking to my brother about this type of stuff, and he was the most open-minded guy in my entire family. I thought for sure that this guy, he'd be like, for sure, he'd at least be willing to listen to what I had to say, you know, or at least like try to research it himself or something like that, you know. I know he's busy with his own kids and stuff, but still, no need to shun me now. My mother, I tried to talk to my mother about this. Shunned. Can't even get a hold of my mom anymore. Tried talking to my sister about this. That is the last thing she wants to hear. I understand where people are coming from. Their minds get in the way. They just don't want to question anything. They just don't want to look at things. It's all up to you about how you want to deal with this whole plane of existence or planet or whatever you want to call it. You want to believe NASA? Go ahead and believe NASA. I don't really care anymore. The thing is, that I care about is just speaking my mind and being able to do that on YouTube, and I'm totally happy with that. And I know that probably a lot of you guys are dealing with that same kind of concept. Maybe not. I don't know, but it's really difficult for me to not be able to talk to my own family about this, and it hurts. So I can understand how you guys might feel if your family felt the same way towards you. It's understandable. Like, maybe you guys had wives or something, you wanted to talk about this, and they're like, "You're nuts," and you know, or girlfriends, or maybe you have husbands or something. You know, they're just like, "Oh, you're an insane bastard." We all have our issues in life, you know, like we make mistakes, we do the wrong things in certain times, and it's not quite the same as trying to explain to your own mother about the flat earth, or your father, you know, who's been in the Navy for 20 years. I mean, like, try to explain it to him. He's like, "Oh, I don't believe that shit." Yeah, well, all right, Dad. I don't care anymore. I have to, like I said, I'm not going to quit. I'm not quitting. This shit's real. I wouldn't be sitting here talking about this stuff if I didn't think it was real. The earth is not what they say it is. That's all I know. Okay? I've seen no curvature when I've been on the ocean. I've seen no curvature when I've been on airplanes. It's just a big flat plane. That's what it looks like. Yeah, you know, I can't even call my own mom anymore because of it. So there you go. And it keeps going on, doesn't it? If you guys are dealing with family issues, you know, girlfriends, wives, husbands, you know, boyfriends, whatever, mothers, fathers, grandparents, whatever, just, I'm really not oppressed. They just think the way they're going to think, and they don't want any changes, so that's it. So, y'all have a good night.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.